Everybody, what's happening? Welcome. Yet another wonderful Wednesday night. Did you like what I just did there?
What?
Wonderful Wednesday.
Okay.
2 W's. Wonder Woman.
What?
Today's news was DC related. Wonder Woman's in it.
Oh.
Justice League is being released. The Snyder Cut. Are you not following what I'm talking about here?
I don't pay attention to DC, and I haven't really looked at my phone much today. So
You must have thrown your phone into a river, because it is literally, I'm not even touching my phone, and every once in a while it will start flashing that the Snyder Cut is coming out in 2021.
What is the Snyder Cut?
Well, there was a guy named Zack Snyder who was behind the film Justice League. Do you remember going and seeing Justice League?
Yes.
Okay. He was the guy behind it. He was making Justice League. He had made Batman vs. Superman and a movie called Man of Steel, which stars who? What character?
Superman.
Yes, good job.
Thank you.
That's right. So, Zack Snyder was in the middle of filming, and his daughter passes away.
Ooh.
So, Zack Snyder then basically completely aborts himself from the entire operation. He leaves. So Joss Whedon steps in. Joss Whedon is best known for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but most notably for the Avengers film that was released in 2012. He was the guy behind that. Then he was also behind Age of Ultron, which wasn't as great. But they gave it to him, and he took Zack Snyder, what he had already done, and then Joss Whedon did his own thing as well and pasted them together. Sorry, I choked on my own spit. He pasted them together. Zack Snyder, people have been clamoring and begging that Zack Snyder would release his cut of the film, where the Joss Whedon part is basically not even existent. And finally, the fans are getting what they want.
Okay, so I'm confused. So did they record the whole thing?
They recorded only parts of it, and then Joss Whedon picked it up. So what they're doing is WB, Warner Brothers, they're putting $20 million into putting together the Zack Snyder cut, which I assume would mean that they have to do maybe, I don't know if there's going to be reshoots, but whatever they have to do to make a movie. And apparently the movie could be up towards 4 hours long. And they're thinking of releasing it in 6 parts.
Was it originally gonna be 4 hours long?
Yes. It was Zack Snyder wanted it to be long. Batman vs. Superman was very long.
Oh,
I don't know the time
goodness.
for Justice League. I don't think it was quite as long as Batman vs. Superman. Somebody can correct me here. Of course, we have DC fans here. And I'm only talking about this because I know it's the big news and I know Morgan's here. Morgan's a huge fan. I personally loved Justice League.
Morgan said it was done recording when Zach had to leave.
Okay, there you go. So I really wanted to.
Thank you, Morgan.
I really liked the movie, the cut that we got, but I'm interested to see what they do. The Snyder Cut. Everybody's been clamoring and begging for it, so let's see what happens. I don't know. It could be good.
Look what Zach Bonifer said. That is a pet peeve of mine, but I don't know who the guy is, so I didn't know.
It's Snyder, not Schneider. Oh, my bad. Did I say Schneider or did you?
You've been saying Schneider.
I
you
have?
said Snyder and then you said Schneider. And I was like, why is it changing now? You already said Snyder.
It's because I have the schniffles.
No, you don't.
That's why.
No, you do not.
Okay. Justice League was going to be 2 movies at one point. So I don't know a whole lot about the DC universe. I loved Shazam. The other films I've watched, but I don't stay too in tune with what they're up to as I do with Marvel films because I love the Marvel stuff. But fans are going to be, I think, really excited up until that movie releases, and hopefully they get what they wanted. So that's the exciting news of the day. Well, see you later, everybody. No, I'm kidding. So the reason why you're here, it's not because of Justice League.
Wow, funny joke.
Although if I had a cut of Justice League right now, I would show it to you, but I don't have that. Instead, I have a story and photos to go with my story, which I think are pretty interesting. And Heather and I can laugh together along the way. Heather can give you more of an explanation of why it was so screwed up, what I'm about to tell you, because she watched me do it. At one point, Heather referred to me as my 8-year-old son. She said that I was acting like him. I was rushing to make my custom Chomp. And that's what we're talking about, my custom Chomp.
Just to be clear, I was not insulting his son. I was insulting Chris because he was working as if he is 8 years old.
That's right.
And getting, like, too
impatient.
Far ahead of himself.
Impatient.
Yes, Max is very impatient.
Yes. And I'm very impatient, as we found out.
Yes, you are.
So, like father, like son.
Yes, and I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe I am insulting both of you.
What I do want to say, however, before we get into my story of what happened, the photos of what happened, what disaster I've been dealing with over the last couple of days. Yesterday I came home. I was literally almost in tears.
Yes.
I was so upset about the result that I had in my hands. But since then, I have gotten to a good place. So I'm really excited. So I want to make you feel better now that I've gotten to a better place. However, Heather has done a fantastic job from start all the way up to what we're about to show soon in the next couple of days, up to her finish. She has done a brilliant job at making her Chomp. We don't know what her Chomp is. She won't tell us.
Nope.
Although I do know
guys.
what it is. I don't know why we're keeping it a mystery. The more we keep stuff mystery, the more people they don't get interested too much in it.
People are going to be really interested.
We'll see.
I
But
promise
we
you.
know what mine is. Mine was Krampus, but I was talking to a guy at work. He said Krampus at work today. So I'm going to start calling him Krampus. So I'm making Krampus. I chose the character because Chomp is a kind of a wide, fat kind of character. He's a big monster kind of character. So I figured he would be cool as a big monster. I thought about maybe making him into like King Kong. I thought about Godzilla. I thought about making him into Chewbacca at one point. And then I decided that Krampus is the perfect character or creature for my Chomp. And we will not see him tonight. We will not see a final. In fact, we don't even have finals yet. They're not done. We have to have
They're
them
not
done.
even well, mine's a little bit close to done, but I still need something to come in the mail.
Mine's actually could be done tonight.
Could be, but I don't know if it will be.
It's close. It's that close.
Very close.
I fast forwarded and got to where scrumptious. Like Snyder, scrumptious. You're jealous of my sweet haircut, I know.
He lives with a barber.
Listen, I married
He's got them perks.
the right woman for.
Yep.
I married the right woman for the coronavirus.
Wait, did all this happen because of you? Did you know that this was coming?
I knew the future. Yeah.
When you married me.
That's right.
Weird.
Chomp us.
Well, guys.
Chompus. Chompus. That's awesome. Anne Marie. Chompus. That's what his name should be. That's what his name will be. That's awesome.
Thank you, Anne Marie.
T and Krampus.
My Chomp, I'm not giving any spoilers. It could be a creature, it could be a person, could be a goldfish, I don't know. But I don't think there's any way to put a spin on mine's name with
No, I
the
don't
word
think so
Chomp.
either. I don't think
It's
so.
really sad.
Jimmy Talbot said, "All right, I'm out. I'm head out."
Bye,
he
Jimmy.
wants to see him tonight.
Can't do that. Oh, you
so-
are actually going to see a little bit of Chris's, I
So
think.
here's what I have, and I just want to let you guys know in advance. What is this? Oh, can't do that. There we go. I want to let you guys know in advance that I am embarrassed of this.
Chris is very embarrassed.
I am
of this.
so embarrassed. Oh God, I felt so
Why
stupid.
don't you tell us a story a little bit?
Okay, so here's the story. The story is here. Let me go back to the main here. The story is that I wanted to make Krampus, so I did. So that's what I started to do, and I reached out to our good pal Jock Morgan. You guys know him. We've talked about him several times. He brought over a bunch of flocking materials for me to flock the Chomp. That was the plan, and he explained to me how to do it and how it's tough. He says, but you can do it. It's fairly easy once you get started. Okay, cool. So I get started, and it just didn't start. So the first night I decided I'm using glue. I was using Elmer's glue and then taking the flocking and flocking it with my hands. So I was doing like a pinch thing. The next day I wake up to take a look at him. I take him outside in broad daylight and he looks like this. So Heather told me at the beginning of all this that I should paint him brown. That way, underneath he would be brown, and then all of the stuff on top of him would just blend in. Heather was right. I probably should have done that. But what you're seeing here is
Chris being impatient and not wanting to wait for the paint to dry, so he just threw glue on and flocking material on and called it a day.
That's right. So I flocked him, and when I was flocking him, when you're doing it, it looks like it's piling on the character, right? So it's piling on. You're getting layers. You're piling on, getting layers. When I picked it up the next day, many of the layers came off. And it was really sad. I mean, I felt really, really sad about this. I was really bummed out. So I decided I will take this back down to this table here. We work down here. I bring it downstairs and I think, okay, I'm going to try to flock him some more and fill in the flocking parts. Fill him in a little bit. What is flock?
No,
Flock?
he said, what the flock?
Oh, what the flock? Oh, okay. Well, let me explain what flock is, by the way. They're like little fibers, like little hairs is what they are. Like little, I don't even know what they're made out of. Like I guess feels like some sort of plastic. I don't know what it is. But basically it clumps up and stuff. So what I end up doing is once I see this, I go out and I buy a sifter. And I use the little sifter to knock all the flocking all over him in the spots that I needed to fill. And the spots that I needed to fill, there he is. So from this angle, he doesn't look half bad. I made a tongue for him. I made him horns. He looked kind of cool. Wasn't very excited about the horns. Wasn't really excited how I got the horns on. It was sort of a mess. The interesting thing about this is that you have this layer of flocking and it's glued on. So you can take a knife and you can kind of cut like holes out if you really wanted to. And I was ripping away and I put the horns there. And everything was going really well with that. I thought I was getting somewhere, and the next day I would come and work on him some more, right? Work on the horns some more. The horns I kind of put some, I don't know, I put like some lines in them to make them look, kind of stand out, look cool. There's another picture of them. So that's a top-down photo of where I was working, and you can tell the horns don't look very good. They look like a piece of shit, is what they look like.
I'm glad you said it, because I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
They look like poop. And I do want to say that so far, currently, the horns look fantastic.
Yes.
I did them.
He redid the horns. They look great.
They look fantastic.
They look more horny.
They look more horny. I painted them in like a horn color, I guess. They look really nice. But this was shit. And so the tongue is there. Now, what I'm about to show you is very embarrassing. So what happens is I take this Chomp and I decide I'm going to flock the horns black, his hands black, his face black, and his feet black. What I ended up coming up with, and the final result came the very next day, which was yesterday.
Oh, by the way, he learned the hard way that he should have painted the body brown before flocking him brown. You would imagine that if he's going to flock the face, the hands, the feet, the horns black, he would paint everything black. Well, spoiler alert, he did not.
So, the next day, I asked Heather, can you grab the Chomp? This was yesterday. Grab the Chomp, take him outside, and shake him off.
By the way, this was after the flocking. This was after the face,
black this is after I flocked
horn,
the rest of the body.
Yeah, all the flocking.
I said, please go ahead, shake him off. I want to see what he looks like. Please. Heather says, okay, I can do that. No problem. She takes it outside. She sends me a photo. And this photo, honest to God, I thought I was dry heaving. I was dry heaving when I saw it on my phone at work. I couldn't believe it. It was this. I still have a hard time looking at it. The tongue broke off, number one. So as you can tell, the tongue is broken off. The flocking got all over his face, his hands, the horns. I mean, it just looked like a dirty mess. And so what you're seeing is the black. I was sifting it, and I was trying to put it on there evenly. Then I was flipping him around, and little did I know in the shitty light that we have in our basement, even when it's turned all the way up, it's still that yellowish color. It started getting all over the fur. So I had black all over him. And I decided maybe I'll take a brush and I'll try to kick it off a little bit. So I tried to kick that off a little bit. And needless to say, that was not happening. He wasn't looking any better. He wasn't looking good. I got to a point where I was getting very bummed out. And honest to God, I really thought that I wasn't going to be able to turn the ship around. I thought I had failed. I told Heather, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do this. I think that Heather should put hers in. I'm just going to throw mine away. And Heather said, well, no, don't throw it away. You can do it. And I was rushing around the house like a maniac. And
again, rushing where you shouldn't rush.
You know, if you ever watch one of those cartoons, you'll see that, the characters, when they get upset, they might kick a little can around, like a little kid will kick a can around. That was me. I was kicking my can around. I was all bummed out. So I was upset, and Heather says, why don't you try to do something about this? Instead of dwelling on how horrible it looks right now, I want you to try to do something. So, I'm trying to save these because I'm going to show you these photos as well. So, I take a knife, and all the flocking is on there. I take a knife. I took a knife into the flocking and cut it on one angle. I moved it, and it ripped off all of it. It ripped off like a layer of skin. All of it. Be honest with you, I was relieved almost instantly. It was like removing like a scab. And it's not very good to do, but it felt really good to do it. And I didn't know if I was going to be completely screwed or not. But what I did was take it into the bathroom. I gave it a bath. I wiped everything off of it, and all was good. And I was really, really happy about that.
It was literally like nothing happened to him.
That's right.
And by nothing happened to him, I mean like Chris didn't put his hands on him.
So what I want to show you first is this. So this is what my ultimate goal was. Now, obviously, what you saw before, this is not where I wasn't getting here. I wanted something to look like this, not exactly like this, but I wanted something like this, but in Chomp form. This was the vision, I guess. I knew that based off what I was doing, I was not going to get that end result. So I knew I had to start over. So when I pulled off all the layers, I washed him. He was a white and blue Chomp all over again. It was as if he had never been touched before. And that made me it relieved me. So this guy is what I'm going for, right? So this is what the end result is going to look like. This is the Krampus that it's going to look like. I want to show you what I did last night into today. Now, this isn't a final result. This is where I'm at as of last night. I've already worked on some more. This, my friends, is where I'm at now. Look. There he is now.
He's painted.
So I have painted him black.
No, that's not where he is now. You did a little bit more.
No, I've done a lot more, actually, since this. But he's painted black. He has red eyes. I've changed his eyes a little bit to make them more Chomp-like. I'm happy because I'm really glad I didn't go forward by trying to flock him. Flocking, I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever think about doing the flocking stuff, don't. It is painful. Now, Jacques has explained that he's going to come over and teach me how to do it. So I'm going to learn in the future, I guess, but I don't know if I want to do it because here's the real problem. I was using the flocking and then I was breathing it in. I was breathing the flocking in.
He showed me his snot. It was gross.
At the end of the night, I was blowing my nose and it was literally coming out brown, like chunks were coming out of my nose of this flocking. I realized that I probably should have worn a mask, but at the time of doing all this, I didn't really realize I needed to. This flocking now is everywhere. We have this bar system here where you can kind of hang stuff on it. It's covered on the top with flocking. The flocking went up in the air and on top of the bar. So I'm going to have to clean all that up. I have to clean the table off. I got to vacuum all over the floor. I mean, it's really a mess. You're really yawning? I'm telling a good story.
I'm shocked Zach Bonifer isn't here to tell you. He is here, but he's not telling you that this is the longest freaking story ever on this
No,
channel.
no.
And it has not been told by
Well,
me.
hold on. Let me explain something. I told a long story, but it was interesting. Usually yours aren't very interesting. I don't.
You do remember that I'm your wife, right?
I do, and
I know where you sleep.
I'd be honest with you. I didn't
Okay.
want to break it to you. So
Okay.
here's where we're at. Okay. Now fast forward to tonight. I have since created the horns. I have since created the tongue that's going to come out of his mouth. In this little photo that I'm basing off of, you can't see a tongue, but the tongue is always on the Krampus or Krampus. We have constructed a jacket or a whatever you call this that he wears. We've constructed that. Heather constructed it for me, and we're going to glue it on. I have a beard for him that's going to go on, and I bought a. I don't know where it is. Is it around here? Do you know where the piece is? The back piece? Is it down here anywhere?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I bought miniature baskets. So I'm going to put a basket on his back like the Funko Pop where the child hangs out of the basket. I mean, that's the Krampus thing. So I don't know. By the end of all this, it's going to look very close to this picture as a Chomp. I'm really excited about that. Thank God I finally got here. Yesterday was an awakening for me. If I honestly, I was at a moment where I had the Chomp in my hand and I was going to throw it directly into the trash can. If that flocking didn't come off that easy, it probably would have been in the trash. I explained to Heather I was going to try to order a new Chomp to work on. And I'm really glad I didn't have to do that because those Chomps were very expensive.
Well, I was going to help you try to fix it if it wasn't coming off.
Baby Chomp, no. So no,
You should put a baby Chomp in there.
I think it would be. I mean, I'd have to make one. It'd be hard. Do you think I can make one?
Yeah, you can do anything you put your mind into.
Into?
Onto.
Put my mind onto?
How the else should I say it?
So now I'm gonna make a miniature Chomp. Can you imagine how this is gonna turn out? Did you just see my flocking? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I have a little baby that came out of a king cake that my friend at work gave me. It looks like a little baby.
Maybe put him in there.
But he's not very big, so I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know. A
Yeah,
mini tiny ghost? That's kind of cool. We might have minis around here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe we can put this guy in there. The little, let's see.
No, he's not good for that.
No, him. Maybe him, huh? No.
That's not a mini, that's a pint-sized hero.
Pint-sized hero, I'm sorry. Yeah, I should know these things. I mean, for Christ's sake, we have a Funko channel. So that's where I'm at. I know that was a kind of a long, drawn-out story, but I figured you guys get a kick out of it, knowing that I've been upset and crying in the fetal position on the bathroom floor, nude, with a baby bottle.
It's been really weird around here.
One sock on, one sock off. It's weird. But thank God I got to a place where everything's working out. And a big thanks and shout out to Jacques. Jacques is an awesome guy. He tried his best to help us, but there's no helping me.
Chris.
There was no helping me with this. It was a friggin' mess. But thank you to him anyway. And hopefully in the future I can learn. We stood outside of my house for like 5 minutes for him to explain to me how the flocking worked. And I was like, oh my God. In my head, I was like, oh, this is so easy. I can do this. I can do this. And yeah, no. Nope. Wrong. So I'm glad that I was able to repaint it. Thank God.
Me too. It was really ugly.
I would have been so sad. So today there was no Wednesday drop. I mentioned that in the Gastlecast We Hunt Together group today. And I asked sad or happy or sad. And everybody seemed to be okay with it. I'm okay with it. It's good to get a break every once in a while. I'm glad I'm not having to buy anything. That's great, right?
Well, you don't have to buy anything, Chris. You just do.
But it's nice to buy things that are fun. Funko. We did get, however, our new War Machine Punisher in, Punisher War Machine. So we're going to be doing a video on that very soon. We're trying to get through our Chomp stuff. That way the table is free and we can edit and do our thing. So right now our space is completely taken up. By the way, your Chomp looks really cool. I was taking a look at it before we did this live. I can't wait for you guys to see your Chomp. I think you're going to be blown away. I don't know if this contest is... I think it's random. I think there's 5 random winners or something. If I remember.
I don't know.
How do you not know you're in the contest?
But you're the one that's filling me in on it.
Oh my God. So next week, by the way, is the 1 year anniversary of the Gastlecast We Hunt Together. I'm sorry, Gastlecast We Hunt Together is the 1 year anniversary of Heroic Nonsense.
Ooh.
So Heroic Nonsense podcast, you guys know about it. We've talked about it before. So we'll have a special podcast for you. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Jason has some pretty fun ideas. If you guys aren't listening to the Heroic Nonsense podcast, please go and search for it on Google. It's very easy to find. Give us a listen. I think you'll like it. If you like what we do here, you'll love what we do there. It's and Jason's awesome. Jason makes the whole show. He's the centerpiece of the whole thing. What else, Heather? Anything else? New video coming about Punisher War Machine Hot Toys. I'm really excited about that. Haven't unboxed it, sitting in the corner of the room. I don't know if we mentioned, but I broke my TV. I got a new TV in. Did I mention it?
Yes.
Got a new TV in, and I got a big thing that I can put the TV on, like a stand, a nice stand. And we're going to have our TV back, and we're going to be able to sit at the table and do our lives again, because I really hate doing them right here. Sometimes they're fun. It's a little more, you think it's a little more intimate right here?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I like it. Oh, Dean Blockley, hey. Welcome. Dean Blockley received his shirt this week.
Yeah,
and
I
his,
saw.
And his prize pack.
I'm glad
so
it got there.
Congratulations, Dean, for winning, and I hope you enjoy the shirt. That's it, right? Do we have anything else?
No, I don't think we have anything
Nothing else? Guys, what's Heroic Nonsense? Heroic Nonsense is a podcast that Heather, myself, and our friend Jason is a part of. Jason Swoboda. Oh, click my video. You're saying just kidding. I thought you were being honest, or you really wanted to know. Heroic Nonsense is a lot of fun. I love it. Thank you, K&L. Appreciate the congratulations. Well, Chris has a face for radio and podcast. Hey, listen, I know. How I got this hottie right here, I don't know. You don't want to say that she has a radio face or podcast face, because that'd be really messed up and very hurtful, Zach. Don't do that.
I think you're very handsome.
Who?
You.
Oh, I know I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. What's that song? This is why I'm hot. Remember that song?
Of course I remember that song. Do you want me to sing it?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not.
No,
doing
really?
it.
How? What is it? No, who does that song? Who is it? Does the song have fat beats on it?
I don't know what that means. It has. His name is something Ibs.
Oh, we'll be
Hold
here all night
on.
because I have no idea who he is. But that's it, guys. A new
No!
video coming your way tomorrow. Our new video is going to be about the Dexter
Mims.
Nims?
Mims.
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 The new. Thank you, Tasha. The Jedi Mind Tricks? No. The new video is going to be about Dexter and what's the other character? They're your pops. Johnny Bravo and Dexter. So we'll have that video will be released tomorrow. I was kind of working on that tonight in between working on the Chomp. So I can't wait for you guys to see that. So look out for that tomorrow night. It'll be out around 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. New video coming to you on Saturday, which I'm really excited about. It'll be about the Punisher War Machine. Big things, guys. Big things coming your way. And remember, don't forget, we had that hot toy giveaway for Luke Skywalker. You don't want to miss it. If you need to know what to do, go over on Instagram. All you need to do is subscribe and share as much as you can. Once we hit 2,500 subscribers on this channel, we'll be giving that hot toy away. And we want to give it away. You know why I want to give it away? I have too much in this basement. It's ridiculous. I need to get stuff out of here. And we'll be giving that away and giving away a couple other things to fill your appetite. How's that? Fill your appetite? Is that?
Chris, can you just stop talking?
Yep, I can. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us for this half-hour Gastlecast. We'll be back live with you on Sunday. Remember, as always, we're on together, yes! We will catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.